Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari.
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana.
Jamuna Tera Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jamuna Tera Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare once again, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, once again, very loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One last time, let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we start with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Saste Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So first of all, welcome you all for this evening program of ISKCON Whitefield. So which we started recently. So in ISKCON temple if you go, so every day morning we'll have Mangalarati in the morning. So on all aspects Srimad Bhagavatam class. And in the evening, so we have Bhagavad Gita class. Before that, we have Sandhyarti or Gaurarti which is happening. So this we started recently and successfully going on. So welcome once again for this. So we are reading from Shloka 55 from chapter 2nd chapter, 55th Shloka. Contents of the Gita summarized. So chant the Shloka and you can repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Prajahati Yada Kama
Prajahati Yada Kama
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha
Atmanyevatmatushta
Sthita Prajnastadocchate
Sthita Prajna Tadoschate
Prajahati Yada Kama
Prajahati Yada Kama
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha
Atmanyevatmana Ushtaha
Sthita Prajna Tadocchate
Sthita Prajna Tadoschate
Prajahati Yada Kama
Prajahati Yada Kama
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha
Atmanyevatmana Ushtaha
Sthita Prajna Tadocchate
Sthita Prajna Tadoschate
Prajahati yada kama
Prajahati Yada Kama
Sarvan partha manogata
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः
स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते
स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते प्रजाहति यदा कामः
प्रजाहाति यदा कामः
सर्वन् पार्था मनोगता
सर्वान् पार्था मनोगता
आत्मन्येवात्मा मनोस्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः
स्थितप्रज्ञा तदो
स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते. Word to word meaning. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
श्री
भगवान
भगवान
उवाच
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Prajahati
Prajahati
gives up,
gives up
Yada
Yada
when
when
Kaman
Kama
desires for sense gratification,
desires for sense gratification,
Sarvan
Sarvan
of all varieties,
of all varieties,
Partha,
Partha,
O son of Pratha,
O son of Pratha,
Managathan
Managata,
of mental concoction,
of mental concoction,
Atmani
Atmani,
in the pure state of the soul,
in the pure state of the soul,
Eva
Eva,
certainly,
certainly,
Atmana
Atmana,
by the purified mind,
by the purified mind,
Tushtaha
Tushtaha,
satisfied,
satisfied,
Sthita Prajnaha
Sthiतप्रज्ञः,
transcendentally situated,
transcendentally situated,
Tada at that time,
at that time,
Uchyate
Uchyate,
he said.
he said,
Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Purport. The Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendentally situated has no good qualifications, because he is sure to be taking refuge in his own mental concoctions. Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desires manufactured by mental concoction. Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous efforts. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation. For this devotional service will instantly help one onto the platform of transcendental consciousness. The highly developed soul always remains satisfied in himself by realizing himself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. Such a transcendentally situated person has no sense desires resulting from petty materialism. Rather, he remains always happy in his natural position of eternally serving the Supreme Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Diti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwar. Once again, Hare Krishna. So we're reading from the sloka 55 from chapter 2. So we'll just go back to the flashback of what's happened. So as you know, so on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, there are two parties. Who are those?
Kauravas.
Kauravas and the Pandavas. So two parties are there. Are of the same family or different family?
Same family.
Obviously, everyone knows this. Of the same family. So we know the condition why the same family members had to fight. So because of the illegal activities which were done by the Kauravas to assert the wealth of the Pandavas. And we know how they tried to disrobe Draupadi in the Hastinapur assembly, and by which the Kurukshetra war had to happen. So this is the flashback which we have seen, and then we have seen both the parties started, and they are about to fight, and immediately Arjuna stopped, and he's telling Krishna, I cannot fight. Please make me stand in between the two parties, Kauravas and the Pandavas. And he wants to see who wants to fight with the Pandavas. He was seeing all the personalities, and finally he got depressed. Oh Krishna, I cannot fight. All these are my family members, great personalities, my worshipable people, like Drona, my guru, Bhishma, my grandfather. How can I kill all of them? How can I fight with them? I cannot fight, oh Krishna. Then finally he surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, please help. Our soul surrendered unto you. Please help. What to do now? And from this point, you can understand that each and everyone in this world, we need some guidance in our life. So last Saturday we have seen this topic only. So Arjuna, we can see how great fighter he is. He's a great archer. We know that Swayamvara of Draupadi. So they want to hit the eye of the fish, imaginary fish moving around somewhere in the sky. He has to sit down in the water and has to hit it. And Arjuna is the only one who can do it. And he could do it and did it. And later we can see how sense-controlled he is. Urvasi, the heavenly being, she came and proposed Arjuna. She wanted to unite with Arjuna. And Arjuna rejected it, just like that. And how he's very, very respectful to all the elders. Even before Kurukshetra war, every single day, all the Pandavas would get up early in the morning and take blessings from the Kauravas' father, that is Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. They go to their home, their palace, their room, and take blessings each and every single day. Such a nice character he has. Such a great personality, Arjuna, we can understand. But still, such a great personality as Arjuna had to take guidance. Who is such a great person? What about talking about us? The Kali Yuga Jivas. Automatically, we need some guidance in the spiritual life. That's what we have understood. So coming back to the sloka, 255. So the context is this. So Arjuna was telling all the problems, sinful activities will come, he is telling all the reasons not to fight. And Krishna is defeating all the arguments which is giving. And finally he comes to the conclusion how one can, and that how one can get out of this karma or sinful activities. The reactions of karma what we have done. So Arjuna was putting this, oh if I kill, I will be with all the sinful activities, sinful reactions, what to do. Then Krishna gave the solution, second chapter, 50 verse number 50, where Krishna is telling a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions, even in this life. Therefore strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. So this is the solution. Whatever work we are doing, the reactions are there, but if our activities are engaged or dovetailed in the service of Krishna, then there will be no reactions for all the whatever activities we are doing, because it is directly in connection with Krishna. So this is the solution for everything. So we may be feeling whatever past I have done, it's there. But by just practicing bhakti, devotional service, all the reactions, either good or bad, everything will be eradicated by just practicing this devotional service. And 51st sloka, by engaging in devotional service, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the stage beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. So all of us were stuck in the cycle of birth and death. How to break the cycle? By practicing bhakti. And Krishna himself is telling, like this, by practicing bhakti, great sages and devotees free themselves. So this is sloka 51 and 52, where Krishna is saying, when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. So when your intelligence is very, very sharp. So how one's intelligence will be sharp? Through bhakti, by reading the scriptures. So intelligence means it works on the principle of right and wrong. So what am I doing? Is it right or wrong? How can a person can understand this? That is through reading the scriptures. Scriptures will give the knowledge. This activity is right or not. So by reading the scriptures, our intelligence will be developed, and intelligence will can control the mind. So next look about the mind. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will be attain the divine consciousness. So it's telling. So when the mind is no longer disturbed by flowery language of Vedas, so one has to read Vedas. Why Krishna is telling flowery language? There are some attractions in the Vedas also. If you do this, you will get it. You will do this, you will get it. In second chapter 40 and 39, I don't know those slokas Krishna said. Don't look into this. Vedas also. So Vedas gives everything, every knowledge, materialistic and also spiritually. So to incline to make a person progress in the spiritual life, in the spiritual consciousness, so one has to follow scriptures. So one is very low in consciousness, by at least for following those. If you do this, you will get this. Falasruti, they will tell, no? So if you get a kid, you will get married. At least by following that, you will get it. But somehow some purification will happen in the heart by following the scriptures. So then his consciousness will rise in a gradual way. But Arjuna, why Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't be foolish or be deluded by this flowery language of the Vedas. Because already Arjuna is in that great consciousness as a great devotee of Krishna. Why need to go down again? Yes, sir? So this is the sloka 53 and 54 we'll see. Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk?" So last sloka 53, Krishna is telling, one, don't disturb by this, be situated in the platform of transcendence, divine consciousness. And Arjuna is asking, Krishna is telling this, Arjuna is asking, oh, is it so? If I situate in that transcendental position, so can you please tell me what are the symptoms of this? So Arjuna was asking. And Krishna started giving answers in verse number 55, which we read. So we'll read once again the translation. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental construction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So this is the symptom of one who is completely in trance. So first point, Krishna is going to give up all varieties of desire for sense gratification. As everyone knows who are practicing spiritual life, that one has to give up all these desires. All the spiritual practices, that's all in the Vedas also. But we know that we have to give up. But still, we are attached to this. Why is it so? Why is it? So let's take how these material desires are coming up. So as we described in our previous sessions also, we are spirit souls. So spirit soul has how many bodies?
Gross body and subtle body.
Two bodies. Gross body
Subtle body.
and subtle body. So gross body means which is made up of this Pancha Mahabhuta. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Thus, that we can see. So this is the gross body. And there is another body called subtle body. Subtle body means?
Mind, false ego, intelligence.
Mind, false ego and intelligence. So this is constitute of subtle body, which we cannot see but we can perceive. So this soul is there. And this soul is covered by the subtle body. And this subtle body is covered by the gross body. So these desires which are there are not the desires of spirit soul. So these are desires coming in the mind. So if the desires are intrinsic for a spirit soul, it's very difficult to give up. We cannot even remove. Just like now heat is there, fire. So we cannot separate heat from fire. Isn't it so? So similarly, when desires are in the spirit soul, we cannot differentiate, we cannot separate it. But Krishna is saying, give up all varieties of desires, because these desires are there in the mind, which are in the subtle body. So now, why these desires have come into the picture? From the time immemorial, we are all in this material world, trying to do sense gratification. So, in Prabhupada terms, it says, lording over material nature, trying to enjoy life after life, life after life, life after life. But trying to enjoy, but no one is getting the complete happiness, full satisfaction. So, and hence, the desires continue. and again another birth, again another birth, again another birth. So just stuck in the cycle of birth and death, trying to satisfy his desires but not able to. But what happens if we satisfy his desires? Everyone has desires, we can satisfy. But what is the problem in satisfying the material desires? So just like we have fire, if we add ghee to the fire, whether it will increase or decrease? Increase. So similarly, when we have this material desires, when we satisfy them, automatically they will increase. It will not reduce. So similarly, when we satisfy this material desires, it will automatically increase. It won't decrease. So when people say, just satisfy your desires, just follow your mind, everything will be satisfied, you will be cool. It will not happen. Because we know the logic here. So by satisfying material desires, we cannot be happy. Then how to do it? Can a person be without any desire? Can we? Why?
By very nature, it is
Yes.
tendency.
So there is a tendency of the spirit soul to have some desire. So it is told, even without food, we can live for some days. Without water also, we can live for some days. But without air also, we can live for a few minutes max. But without desire, a spirit soul cannot live even for a second. We cannot live. But Krishna is telling, give up all varieties of desire for sense gratification. How the logic works. So Krishna is telling, give up all kinds of material desires. Then how to give up? If we have the spiritual desires. So just like Prabhupada gives a nice example. Now we are in a home. If you are dragged out of the home, you need some shelter, right? You cannot stay on the road. So similarly, we are in the home of material desires. So if you want to come out of this material desires, we need some home, some other home. That home is spiritual desires. By cultivating spiritual desires, material desires will automatically reduce. We're just changing our consciousness. So Krishna is telling, be situated in the transcendental consciousness. Now all of us were in material consciousness. Now how to come to transcendental consciousness? So we have to reduce it. So to reduce material consciousness, we have to transfer to transcendental consciousness. So there is no extra effort to reduce material things. The only thing we have to do is transform to spiritual activities. So all the activities which we do in ISKCON every single day, in the morning, early in the morning, we do all the arati, dance, singing, chanting, all this. Now with the bhakti we call this. So in the first paragraph we see Krishna is telling, Prabhupada mentions, a person who is in full Krishna consciousness has all the good qualities of great sages, whereas the persons who are not so transcendent situated have no good qualities. So who is the devotee of Krishna? Only he has all the good qualities. Why? Because logic also is here. Krishna has all the good qualities. When a person associates with Krishna, automatically he gets. So how to transcend these qualities? So it's in Bhagavatam, it's mentioned. So is Prahlad Maharaj, everyone knows, right? So he is giving this example. So how to practice or come to transcendental consciousness? So he is telling. So there are totally 9 processes of devotional service. So what are those?
Chanting and hearing the smarana, remembering the service.
So all these processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the 9 processes of devotional service. So our goal is to come out of this material consciousness, transfer to the spiritual consciousness. So to do this, we have a goal. Let's like an experiment. In studies we have done in college to schools. We have an experiment, aim, apparatus, procedure, observation, and finally conclusion which are here. So similarly, we have a goal here, the aim. What is that goal? To transfer from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. So there should be some procedure, isn't it? Some process. And that process is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So where Prahlad Maharaj, who is telling this, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So all these 9 processes of devotional service, when one does all the time, every single day, automatically his consciousness changes. And amongst all the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important thing is Shravana. So that's why it gets first. So people start chanting. So that is also Kirtan Shravana, both it comes under. So Shravana is most important. Why? Shravana means hearing.
Yeah.
So whenever we want to wake up early in the morning, what do?
Keep alarm.
Keep alarm. So when a person is sleeping, so why do we keep alarm? Because a person can hear. Only through ears he can awake himself. Isn't it so? He will not keep alarm for switching on the light. So the person is sleeping. We can switch on the fan, light, whatever. Whatever external activities we do, external disturbance cannot be disturbed. But only through sound, a person can be awakened. A sleeping person. So similarly, all the living entities in this material world are like sleeping souls. Then how to awaken them? So to keep some alarm. So what is that alarm?
Yes.
Chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, hearing about the Lord. So this Shravana. So most important thing. First is Shravana. So that's why we all the devotees all over the world ISKCON. So we go out for Nagar Sankirtan. Why? So that people can hear the holy name. At least their devotional Sukriti, their devotional practice starts by that. By hearing the Sukriti. Those who are already Sukriti, by seeing the devotees, hearing the mantra, automatically they come to and ask, what is this? So they will come to our table and take Bhagavad Gita. Because they already have some Sukritis. And they reaches that other level and they become devotees immediately. And there are people who have need more Sukriti to start Bhakti. So further we are going out and doing Sankirtan, distributing books, distributing free prasadam everywhere. This Sukriti increases and one day they will start practicing Bhakti each and every single day. All the 9 processes of Bhakti. One of the most important is Shravana. So Shravana means hearing. So what do we hear? Hearing about the Lord. Like we are discussing about Bhagavad Gita. Hearing this is also Shravana. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we chant and hearing. That is also hearing. So that is also Shravana. So hearing the Lord's pastimes, Lord's qualities, discussing about the Lord's form, hearing, that is also comes under hearing. And next is Kirtanam. Shravana and Kirtanam. Kirtanam means glorifying. Now preaching also is also, I am also doing Kirtan. We are also doing Shravana. So this also comes under Kirtan. The rest is chanting comes under, takes all the process. Chanting is under Shravana, chanting is under Kirtana also. This is the best thing. Shravana, Kirtana, Vishnu, Smarana. So Smarana means
Remembrance.
thinking, remembrance, meditation. So chanting also comes under this meditation. So when we are chanting, we are trying to hear the mantra and remember the Lord. Remembrance means Smarana. So everything is Shravana, Kirtana, Vishnu, Smarana, Archanam. So one of the sannyasis in ISKCON he says, so chanting is the best process which includes all the other 9 processes of bhakti. All the 9 processes included. Sevana, Pada Sevana, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedam. Offering prayers. While we are chanting, we offer prayers to the Lord. So please help so that I can hear at least one mantra. We are praying to the Lord and we are worshipping the Lord in the form of chanting His holy names. So holy name, chanting the holy names of the Lord includes each and every anga of bhakti. So that's why in ISKCON we see every day in the morning. So we do after Mangalarti, immediately we sit for chanting. So specific time was given for doing this mantra meditation or japa. For not any other activity if you see, observe it. So you have a reading and we have a hearing also. There's not much specific time is given. But for chanting 2 hours of time is given immediately after Mangalarti. Why? Because it is so important. By chanting, by perfecting this chanting process, one can elevate or come to the platform of transcendental consciousness. That is always in Krishna consciousness. So this is the essence, the holy name or bhakti process is the essence of all. And that in bhakti, the holy name which is there. So we can see the life of Srila Prabhupada. What he has done? He has only 40 rupees with him. Srila Prabhupada, the one who is in the order here. So we do Guru Puja every day. So he is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So in 1966, he went to America, where people are completely hippies. So hippies means are those who left their homes and came out. So months together, they don't have bath also. And do all the nonsense things. They are living life less than an animal. And to that place, Srila Prabhupada went with few books of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the most important thing, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In that place we can see Tom Spin Square Park, where Prabhupada sat under a tree. He didn't tell anything. You hear about Krishna, nothing. He just started Kirtan. Hare Krishna, how we do? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the same thing which Prabhupada did under a tree. And all the people who are hippies, they were very much attracted. What is this old man is doing? Something is different. Let's come and hear. Everyone sat together around Prabhupada and started hearing this mantra. So generally whenever people do some mistakes, so we generally tend to give some corrections, isn't it so? Automatically we have the desire to advise. But Prabhupada didn't give any correction to those people. What he did? Just did meditation. Correction baad hai, pehle meditation. So meditation is very, very important. So that is what Prabhupada has done. Did meditation. So automatically people's heart changed. And this is the purpose we are seeing. So Prabhupada writes this, by just practicing bhakti, doing this mantra meditation, automatically people's heart will be changed. We have seen the result. Prabhupada has seen the result. Practically. That's why it's written in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it is practical, it does happen. And it happened. So that's why with those hippies, Prabhupada converted those hippies to happies. And those people who are leading a life less than an animal, they became sannyasis. And distributing this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. You can see, ISKCON has hundreds of centers now, all over the world. So that's why people are coming in the weekdays. We can go anywhere, do something. But people are coming to ISKCON and hearing Bhagavad Gita. And this great personality has done this great work of distributing Bhagavad Gita all over the world. So I was very much interested in all these cultural topics and seeing. So when I have Facebook, I used to scroll down, Instagram again. So I see many videos where people, the foreigners, westerners, females are wearing saris and the gents, males are wearing dhoti kurta. All the white skin people, white, black skin. And are coming out on Rath Yatra singing this Hare Krishna mantra, chanting, hundreds of people, not few, hundreds of people on the Rath Yatra on the roads in a foreign country. I was very much abused. How this happened? I saw a number of videos. It's very nice. Our culture, our Indian culture went all over the world, especially in Western countries. It's really wonderful. I was very happy by seeing that. And don't know how it went. After coming to ISKCON, I understood. He is the person. He is the personality. Who did it? There should be someone right who is taking it. And he's done it. Taking that Indian culture out in the foreign. And people are very, very happy by doing the spiritual consciousness. Because we are all a spirit souls. In India, everyone knows this. We all are Atma. So let's discuss one more time this example. So whenever a person dies, what do we say in Hindi? Mar gaya. In Telugu? Chani poyadu. In Tamil? In Kannada? Santodru. So like this we have various terms. Let's take in English we call passed away. A person passed away. But if you see person is lying there, right? Person is lying there with whom we are speaking the whole life. The person is lying there. Then who passed away? The soul within the body. So actually speaking, we have never seen a person whom we are talking with. The person is within the body. And we are thinking this body is my related so and so. But actually the spirit soul within the body is the soul. Now question comes. Now spirit soul is there. We are all spirit souls. Very nice. Let's trigger our thought process more and more. Still we are not believing this. Let's think our process. Now we came from our mother womb. Yes or no? All of us. So before our mother took birth, where were we?
In another form.
In another form, somewhere we should have been. After death, where will we go?
Our results of our karma.
So all these stuffs. So just making our thought process strike. Something is there. And this is how Bhagavad Gita says, second chapter, 13th verse. Dehi nosmin yata dehe kaumaram yapanam jara tata dehantaram prapti dhirstatra namuyati. Just like a baby moves from childhood, engage, then old age and finally passes away. So similarly even spirit soul is changing from one body to another body. Now we all are 30s, 20s, whatever. And after we become 60s, yes sir, and after that. So similarly soul also passes from one body to another body and another body. And after death it passes to another body. So this is how practical is Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is telling this. So Bhagavad Gita is for everyone. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5000 years back. It was applicable then, it was applicable now, and it will be applicable forever. So this is the practicality of Bhagavad Gita. This is the glory of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why every one of us have to take this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Practice, see the changes in our life, and go out and spread this knowledge. Yes, sir? Yes. So this old personality at the age of 70 has done so much for us. And that is why we are able to hear. He used to sleep only for 2 hours in the night. He writes books, he translates the books. So Bhagavad Gita, all this Vedic knowledge in the previously, it was only few languages in India. It was just in the border of India. So in Sanskrit and few Bengali, Hindi languages. But this person took all out in all the languages. Chinese, Germany, all the languages Bhagavad Gita is there. So he has done so much. So that's why all the people are getting real happiness in the spiritual life through the learnings of Vedic culture, especially from Bhagavad Gita. So it is up to part now for all of us to take Bhagavad Gita, practice in our life, and spread this knowledge for everyone's benefit. And this is the best activity, this is the best welfare activity which we can do in the whole human society. Understanding? So this is what we can do. Now how to take up project came for the first time, if you are coming for the first time. So we have the opportunity to learn Bhagavad Gita every Saturday mornings. So we have Bhagavad Gita classes happening for all the females in the evening for all the boys. So on Sunday mornings also we will have classes if you have couples coming. So you can come on Saturday mornings. We have discussion on the Vedic culture, and you can come once in a while. We have a volunteers here. You can help them, so they'll help you. And immediately what we have to do is we have to take one Bhagavad Gita copy with us. So we have seen the practicality of Bhagavad Gita. It is applicable for everyone, not only old age, not only young, not only middle age. Everyone can take Bhagavad Gita. So that's the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, the glory of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So with this, I would like to end the discussion. So you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions?
Only 2 hours. That is, normal humans at least 4 to 5 hours have to sleep. How that personality sleep for 2 hours.
Yes. So this is a sloka which Krishna is telling those who are pure in transcendental consciousness. So what happens? So when you are spiritually advanced, so you are in trance in the spiritual advanced, all these material necessities will be reduced. So it's called higher taste. In future we call 59th sloka. So where Krishna is telling, so one should get this higher taste. So when one person has this higher taste now, automatically lower taste will be reduced. So let's take an example. So I have given you 2 plates. In one plate I gave you Karela, in one plate I gave you Gulab Jamun. Which you will take?
Gulab Jamun.
Gulab Jamun, obviously. So, because of higher taste we have. Gulab Jamun is more tastier than Karela. So similarly, these great personalities like Prabhupada, they are experiencing some higher happiness in the spiritual life. So like this, when spiritual life advances, automatically our material necessities like eating, sleeping, mating and defending automatically will reduce. So in this way we can separate more and more knowledge. So that is what the Prabhupada has done. He is a pure devotee. If you are coming from Vaikuntha and spreading this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita all over the world, who can do it? In 12 years, 108 temples. It's completely impossible. At the age of 70. So that is the case. When I stay
How he got this, what made him to come into this?
In the spiritual life. Yeah. So generally from childhood, Srila Prabhupada is very much inclined to spiritual life. This pious spiritual knowledge. And his father is also a nice devotee of the Lord. So what happened? He was practicing, and finally he met his guru in 1922 when he was around his 20s. So his guru was very, very advanced in the spiritual life. And he was seeing how at that time India was in this world war, still under the dependence of British rule. So people are striking, doing so many things for independence, political reasons. But no one is very, very happy. As spirit souls, we are all searching for some real happiness in life. So what is real happiness? So real happiness means that which is always continuous. There is no reduction. As a spirit soul, we are permanent, we are eternal. And we all are searching for that eternal happiness. So when we will get that happiness, when we are in connection with the Paramatma. We all are Atma. When we are in direct connection with Paramatma, automatically that eternal permanent happiness will come. But people are not aware of this. And people are searching for happiness somewhere outside. It's not completely fully satisfied. So there are many great people in the world. So we have seen many people come to ISKCON, they discuss also personally. So Prabhuji, I have everything in my life. I have got money, I have got my family, I have got kids, everything, whatever a normal person wants, everything is there with me. Still, I am not satisfied in the heart. Because that spiritual need is there. That spiritual need. So, all the people are lacking the spiritual need. And his guru gave this instruction. You may change the party now. British rule will go. Now, Congress rule will come. Other rules will come. Ruling may change, but a person's happiness will not come. So to get that happiness, one has to read Bhagavad Gita, practice spiritual life. Then automatically one experiences that happiness. And this is the real happiness everyone is searching for. Not only Indians, not only Pakistan, not only Americans, everyone. Everyone is happy in this. And animals cannot understand this. If some dog comes and tells Bhagavad Gita, can a dog hear? He cannot. But human beings are the only ones have this opportunity to practice spiritual life. So his spiritual master gave him instruction. So take this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and spread it all over the world, especially in the Western countries, foreign countries. So his spiritual master gave this wonderful instruction and he's trying to his best to do it. And since he's experiencing that happiness inside, why he wants to keep with him only? Let me spread. So he's not selfish. So he wants to spread this happiness all over the world. So that's why he took up this spiritual master's instruction and he's personally experiencing this happiness and he wants to spread this and he did it. So this is what the reason is. Got the point? So we have the whole history of biography of this person. So Srila Prabhupada Leela Prita. So if you want you can take the book from here. Very wonderful book. You can read everything. If you know not read Bhagavad Gita also it's okay. You can read that book. Very very interesting. How he took a lot of hardships at the age of 70. Want to spread this knowledge. So this, if you want, you can purchase that book. Very wonderful book. I have read once, twice. It's really inspiring. Whoever reads, even if he is Muslim or Christian, he will automatically become a Hindu. So that's a nice book. Okay? So you can get to know more about him to that book. So, thank you. Any other? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.